Once upon a time, far away in a quiet little village, nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, lived a curious girl named Lila. Unlike the other children who spent their days playing games and chasing butterflies, Lila preferred to lie on the soft grass and watch the clouds drift lazily across the sky. As she gazed up at the ever-changing shapes above her, she would whisper excitedly, "That one looks like a dragon soaring through the heavens. Oh, and that one over there looks like a majestic castle with fluffy white towers." One day, as the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the village, Lila decided to explore the meadow near her home. As she skipped through the tall grass, she noticed something unusual under the roots of an old oak tree. It was a tiny paintbrush that shimmered with 1,000 colors. At first, Lila thought it was just a lost child's toy, but as she picked it up, she felt a sudden surge of energy. Suddenly, a gentle voice whispered in her ear, "Paint with me, and the sky will listen." Intrigued and a bit scared, Lila looked around, but couldn't see anyone. She turned back to the brush, which seemed to glow brighter now, and hesitantly touched it to the darkening sky. To her astonishment, the clouds instantly burst into a myriad of vibrant colors, swirling and shifting like a painter's palette. Overjoyed and a bit frightened, Lila quickly ran home to get some paints. When she returned to the meadow, she dipped the brush into a small puddle, creating a perfect mixture of indigo and silver. Then she swirled it through the air and onto the clouds, leaving behind streaks of shimmering blue. As she painted, the clouds responded to her touch, forming new shapes and patterns that danced in the twilight sky. Excited by her newfound power, Lila continued painting until the sky blazed with color. She painted fluffy white sheep frolicking among the clouds, and even a friendly face that seemed to wink at her from behind a fluffy cumulus. The villagers, who had gathered in the town square, watched in awe as the clouds transformed into a breathtaking canvas. The sight was so magical that the children forgot their games and the grown-ups paused their gossip, all captivated by the spectacle above them. Young and old stood mesmerized, their faces lit up with wonder as they witnessed the sky transform into a mesmerizing masterpiece. After a while, the clouds began to fade back to their usual white, and the sky grew darker as night fell over the village. Still in awe, the villagers slowly went back to their lives, whispering excitedly about the day they witnessed the clouds dance with color. Lila, too, felt a sense of wonder and excitement. She couldn't believe that she had been chosen to paint the sky and bring so much joy to the people of the village. From that day on, Lila became known as the Cloud Painter. Every evening after sunset, she would grab her magical paintbrush and create new and exciting designs on the clouds for the villagers to enjoy. The people looked forward to these nightly displays of art, as they provided a welcome distraction from their everyday lives. But as the weeks passed, something strange began to happen. The fields and meadows that once burst with colorful flowers and lush green grass started to wither and turn brown. The river, which had flowed merrily through the village, became sluggish and shallow. Even the leaves on the trees seemed to droop and lose their vibrant hues. At first, the villagers didn't pay much attention to these changes. They were too busy marveling at Lila's nightly cloud paintings to notice anything else. But as the seasons turned and the weather remained unseasonably dry, people began to worry. Meanwhile, Lila was blissfully unaware of the problems she had caused. She was too caught up in the joy of painting the clouds and bringing happiness to the villagers. She thought that her nightly displays of art were a blessing to the town, and that everyone loved her for it. However, one day, a group of farmers approached Lila with worried expressions on their faces. "Lila," said one of the farmers, his voice trembling slightly, "we need your help. Our crops are dying because there hasn't been any rain for months. If we can't grow food, we won't have anything to eat." Lila, touched by their plight, tried to comfort them. "Don't worry," she said, "I'll paint some rain clouds for you." And so she did. She mixed together the perfect shade of grey, the color of rain, and swirled it across the sky. But instead of rain, white feathers fell from the clouds, blanketing the ground in a thick layer. Disheartened, the farmers shook their heads and walked away. "It's no use," one of them muttered, "even the clouds have abandoned us." That night, as Lila sat under the tree watching the sky, she realized what she had done. She hadn't been paying attention to the needs of the village, and her desire to bring happiness had caused nothing but trouble. Feeling guilty and desperate to fix the situation, she whispered a prayer to the sky. "Oh, please forgive me. I didn't mean to cause all this harm. I only wanted to make people happy." Suddenly, the clouds rumbled and flashed with brilliant light, and a deep voice echoed through the air. "Little one, you have a kind heart, but remember, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. Balance is the key to harmony. You must learn when to add color and when to let nature take its course." With that, the clouds calmed, and a gentle breeze rustled through the leaves, carrying the sweet scent of rain. Overcome with gratitude, Lila knew that the sky was giving her another chance. Determined to fix the damage she had caused and to learn from her mistakes, she grabbed her paintbrush and mixed a soothing shade of grey, the color of rain. With steady strokes, she painted across the sky, calling back the life-giving showers. The villagers, who had gathered to watch, gasped as they saw the clouds shift and change, responding to Lila's touch. The first fat raindrops fell from the sky, hitting the dry ground and causing a chorus of joyful shouts and relieved sighs. Lila smiled, knowing that she was finally doing something good for her village. From that day on, Lila continued to paint the clouds, but only sometimes. She remembered the lesson she had learned and understood that balance was essential to bring true happiness. When the sky was dull, she painted fluffy white sheep or a smiling face to lift people's spirits. During festivals, she created beautiful shapes and patterns to celebrate the joyous occasions. And whenever the crops needed water, she took care of that, too. But she never painted so much that the sky lost its natural beauty. As the years passed, the people of the village never forgot Lila, the Cloud Painter. They loved her not only for the wonderful art she created, but also for the balance she brought to their lives. And so, the little girl who had once caused trouble by painting too many clouds became a hero by learning when to add beauty and when to let nature be. The end. Now, young viewers, it's time for you to paint your own masterpiece on the canvas of imagination. What valuable lesson have you learned from this tale? Share your thoughts below. And hey, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the story. Keep watching our channel for more animated tales filled with magic and life lessons. Thanks for joining us today. See you soon.